I want to talk about cause and effect. Now, we cause the effects in our lives. So basically, we create our reality, whether you want to believe it or not. Now, if we want to go down to more logical terms, our beliefs create our thoughts, and our thoughts create our emotions or feelings, right? Our feelings and emotions create the cause. They are the cause that makes the effect. So they are energetic. So that energy of the emotions that you sit in is what actually creates your reality, right? And you also take action based on your feelings or emotions. And emotions is energy in motion. So until we start to change our beliefs and our thoughts, we can't change our emotions or our energy, and we can't change our reality. Now, working on the energy though is super important. So knowing when we are flipping from one energetic frequency, or like one emotion, a high emotion, a high vibrating emotion where it's this joy and happiness and peace and bliss and all these yummy things that excite us, to something that makes us feel dense and contracted, which it could be anger and disappointment and all those lower vibrational energies, right? So I'm teaching this in my new program, or going through parts of this, because it's super important. And also understanding that the variations in our thoughts, right, and beliefs are very much dictated to around what is our nervous system doing. There's two parts to our nervous system. It's the parasympathetic and sympathetic. If we are in the sympathetic nervous system, we are in a stress response. We are in survival. Therefore, our mind is triggering, looking for red flags, looking for negativity, looking for pain, looking for things that are going to create suffering based on your past experiences. Now, your nervous system wants to keep things the same, because every time it triggers into a new environment, it has to bring in the sympathetic nervous system just to check out what is happening. Am I safe? How do I move through this experience, right? So it's based on your past experiences. And if you can't actually reset the sympathetic nervous system, if your sympathetic nervous system is hyperactive and on all the time, right, it is going to basically try and keep you functioning in past beliefs and past feelings and emotions, right? So to sit in the parasympathetic system, which is where we feel joy, where we feel bliss, where we surrender, where we have excitement, where we tune into our intuition, is where all the magic happens, and where we can see positivity, where we start to feel the positive beliefs and positive thoughts. We have positive emotions, and we take positive actions, and we change our life. But people need to sort of understand this. We need to regulate our nervous system to be able to break free from the old dense and contracted energy and thoughts and patterns. But we also need to change this within the subconscious, right? So that the subconscious has the ability to reset, go back to the parasympathetic system, which is the joy state, right? Being able to do that. And we do this through our senses, creating a sensory experience. So being able to see, feel, touch. So when I start to show people tools around changing their beliefs, we need to create things that actually create a sensations in the body, so the subconscious can actually acknowledge this as an experience, and can to start to rewrite the old experiences so that you can change the patterns, right? I know it sounds really intense, but it's actually really simple. It can be done so simply. It can be done if you just acknowledge and witness where you are functioning and what things are beliefs that are outdated. And a lot of the beliefs have been imprinted by your parents, by school, by society, and you're like, oh, am I allowing myself to be defined and my life to be dictated by somebody else's outdated beliefs? Or am I going to choose my own? Am I going to take back my power and align myself to a life that's truly aligned? Now, I see so often when people are trying to create something in their life, they are also looking at the supply. Or say if you're wanting more money in your life, and you go and you think that money comes through the job, or it comes through the clients that come in through your business, right? You're focusing on the supply. So the demand flees, which means you get less clients, because they are actually the ones that bring in the money. When we start to acknowledge that the actual true form of source is actually beyond that, way beyond that, right? Because you're giving your power away to the clients. The clients bring the money in, and if I don't get the money, I feel disappointment, and it's this yucky feeling. So when you want to create something, if you're focusing on how that happens and how it comes to form, you are limiting yourself. You're limiting yourself based on those mind's constructs, right? But when we truly tune into the true source of supply and how to create a demand that causes the supply to actually come into our lives, everything changes. And the true one source, there's only one pure source, and that is the essence, the energy essence and consciousness that lives within us, when we actually realize and activate and feel into that consciousness that is pure abundance. You are abundant because you are born, right? Humans are abundant everywhere. The pure form of consciousness does not live in scarcity or lack. It is in abundant flow. So when we tune into that part of ourselves and allow that energy to ripple out to everywhere in abundance and return to us in waves, all of a sudden we're creating this energetic frequency that actually allows the universe to bring more abundance in. So there, for me, when I'm looking at ways to create more money, I am open to beyond my mind's constructs. Yes, clients can bring it in, but I trust in the divine, this part within me, that it is going to always provide for me. And not just provide for me, provide beyond my needs, that I have more than enough. When I started to imprint this belief into myself and started to trust in something so much more powerful than just the clients or my work, right? Life changed. Money started to flow from various places, and it actually allowed me to create a life on my terms, a life aligned to who I was, to show up in my purpose and passion, for me to be creating a demand on myself. So energetically, the universe started to supply more, right? Because I create the demand and I am source. Therefore, the source is going to give more to me as a ripple. Because your internal reality and energetics is going to create your external reality. It's proven in science. Your personality creates your personal reality. There's so many things. So when we start to look at who we are, how we show up, our beliefs, our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, our actions, right? That is your personality, and that creates your reality. But yet so many people give this power away because they don't believe in something so divine that actually lives within them. They don't know how to access this. They don't know how to tune in and change their life in the most magical ways. And it's using universal laws and knowing how those universal laws work. So often people say, okay, if I get the boyfriend, I'm going to feel love, right? So you're looking at the effect. So I need that person to come in to cause the effect, right? But what actually happens is if we feel the effect, we feel the emotion, we cause the action or to actually come into our life. So we cause the effect by feeling the emotion first and truly believing it is available to us. We don't go, it's got to come from this form, and start creating restrictions and then allowing the universe to be restricted in how it delivers this to you. You just need to know energetically and feel it in your being, in your sensory system, and in this conscious awareness within you, and live from that point. Live truly from that center point of being. And oh my gosh, I promise you, you'll have magic happen in your life all the time. And this is what I get to teach people all the time, is how to tune in, how to change the life, whether it's changing from the nervous system response to feeling joy and bliss, to finding their purpose and passion, to creating a life of their terms, but also helping soul entrepreneurs to have abundance, to have what is their birthright, to help everybody have that, and to ripple this beautiful energy out. And that's why it's called Quantify, because it quantifies and keeps a momentum going that's going to radically change people's lives. And not just one person, but that one person changed energetically. If I'm in a different vibration and thinking and feeling and acting in a different way, my children are, impacted by that, and they are impacting their friends, and it starts to keep rippling out and out into the world. And this is the magic, right? So don't just think that you can't make some change today, because you change yourself, you are going to change those around you just by holding and anchoring and stabilizing that energetic frequency within you. And that's where most people struggle. They don't anchor and stabilize their energetic frequency. They don't anchor and stabilize their essence. They don't anchor and stabilize into this divine aspect and consciousness within themselves. And that's been my most powerful piece, is learning how to anchor my frequency and not let anyone take me out of my pure, joyful place of abundance and prosperity and love and laughter and all the juicy things that life offers, like joy.